What's the best roller coaster at Kings Island? Today I'm ranking every coaster from worst to best, but remember this is my opinion, no one has a correct opinion, so don't be hating in the comments even if your favorite ride is number 5, 4, or even number 2 on my list. It doesn't change the fact that it's your favorite ride at the park, so before we start the video, like, comment your favorite Kings Island ride, and subscribe. What will top the list? You'll find out later. I've ridden every currently operating coaster at Kings Island, so no defunct coasters, not even Vortex or Firehawk. But, we're just gonna jump right in now, I guess. Let's fly through the kiddie coasters at the start. At number 15 is Woodstock Air Rail. It's a Vekoma hang and bang. Number 14 is Great Pumpkin Coaster. It's a kiddie coaster that's over in a flash, but I'd still would rather ride this than Woodstock Air Rail. Number 13 is Woodstock Express, a fun coaster, but I'm too tall, and so, yeah. Now, some coasters that I'm more likely to ride whenever I visit. At number 12 is Snoopy's Soapbox Racer. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like the backwards section. It's dizzying and feels weird, but overall it's a fun ride. I think it's a great addition to smaller parks, but the capacity is a little too low for Kings Island. The worst thrill coaster at Kings Island is taking the number 11 spot. It's Flight of Fear. Flight of Fear is just a horrible coaster. It's outdated, rough, boring, doesn't have a good layout, and has bad capacity. The best moment of the ride is clearly the launch, which I still love, but after leaving that section, you instantly just start feeling pain. The ride sucks. Starting our top 10 is a coaster that needs a replacement, in Vertigo. Once again, another coaster I hate. But I'd rather ride this than Flight of Fear or the family coasters. This coaster does have some nice moments. The lift hill is a little fun actually, but after you start heading into the Cobra Roll, it's a classic Vekoma again. Horrible. The best moment is the backwards vertical loop. It's intense. And wasn't that rough the last time I rode it. Then again, I haven't ridden it since 2023, but before it gets removed, I'll have to ride it again. Number 9 is a coaster that some people love a lot more than me, the newly renamed Queen City Stunt Coaster. It's just boring. Not a bad ride, but the last 2 times I rode it, I got nothing. The helix can be intense, the effects are great, but this ride is just boring. It's a skip for me. Now, let's talk about the better coasters. Number 8 is a coaster that I do have a love-hate relationship with, Adventure Express. So I do love the jankiness. It's not actually that rough. Some parts are absolutely horrible, but it feels like a classic aero coaster, and the ride has a pretty good layout for Mine Train though. The second most underrated coaster at Kings Island is number 7, and that's the Bat. The only flaw is how short this ride is. It has power and speed, but after leaving the lift, it's over in a flash. The first drop has some whip in the back and sends you into a twisted layout full of positives and what might be the best flying sensation at Kings Island. I'm trying to think here. At number 6 is Racer. Racer is a great and just fun coaster, and with its retrack last season, it's still running great. Wait. I haven't ridden it this season, so I don't know how it is. But the layout overall is not amazing, but it's a classic coaster, so that makes sense. The first drop gives you a classic sensation, and after the drop you hit a run of airtime hills that don't really give anything. These rides are still great fun, so overall this coaster just doesn't have much for forces, but still stands as a Kings Island classic. And it's a must ride at least once a season for me. Even with how great the Bat and Racer are, we're now going to talk about Kings Island's best, the top 5. Before we keep going, if you're enjoying this video, please drop a like and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out, and if I'm uploading this on May 8th, it's my birthday. So give me some love during this video. While you're at it, leave a comment to help with the YouTube algorithm, and let me know your top 5 at Kings Island. Starting the top 5 is the Beast, the park's most iconic coaster. I haven't visited the park for the 2025 season, and this coaster got a major retrack, so it's probably better now. But for now, it's a solid number 5 in the park. This doesn't do anything crazy, it's just a peaceful stroll through the woods until the second half, or you get that double helix that delivers some bone-crushing Gs. At number 4 is Banshee, the coaster with the actual best flying sensation in the park. Banshee is a masterclass of elements thrown into one. I love this coaster so much from the first drop to the final inline twist. It's also got some classic invert elements like the 0G roll and vertical loop, but also has unique elements like the pretzel knot. Banshee might just be the most underrated invert out there. This coaster is really just amazing and a must ride whenever I visit. Kings Island's top 3 is next. What people really do not like sometimes. But starting us is Mystic Timbers. I don't know how Mystic Timbers is running this season, but in 2024, the entire year, I would say it was extremely slow. And I do mean slow. So this year, I hope it's running faster, claiming my number 2 or even number 1 spot like before. The layout is perfect, but you don't get enough from most of the airtime hills. My favorite element is probably the drop into what I'll call a ravine, even though it's not a ravine. I also do love the ending shed. It adds a lot rather than just sitting on the brake run. Taking the number 2 spot is Diamondback. If this coaster was smoother, it would take the number 1 spot. I'm going to be completely honest. This ride is pure airtime. From the first drop going into the 5-second floater hill, every airtime moment delivers on this ride. Back row is the best, I think. But to end off the ride, you have the splashdown, where if you're in the back and stick out your arms, you'll get soaked. So overall, this coaster would take the number 1 spot, but it's still an amazing ride, even with the rattle. Now, the best coaster at Kings Island. It is Orion. The first drop is the best Giga drop that I've experienced, and it has amazing airtime. It might be a little short, but the element sequencing is great. After the first drop, you hit a wave turn, giving hang time, before heading into the turnaround, giving you, honestly, a pretty good floating feeling. But heading into my favorite element of the ride, and maybe my favorite element at Kings Island, the speed hill after the turnaround, which, yeah, I think it might be my favorite element at Kings Island. When you fly up into the trimmed airtime hill before hitting the helix, I love the helix, I gray out almost every single time on it. After getting your photo taken, you then hit an off-axis hill, which gives some amazing airtime, if I do say. But after that, you hit another airtime hill before hitting the brakes, and that's really it. That's going to wrap it up for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and comment down below. Subscribe for more coaster content, and don't forget to tell me what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or are you in the middle? But even if you disagree, like the video and let's talk about it in the comments. You don't need to dislike a YouTube video. Come on. What is this? YouTube Rewind?